Yes, we are live. We are live. We are live. Good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon to you all. I welcome you to the Peak Parent Academy page, and I welcome you. So, if you can hear me, can you let me know in the comment section if you can hear me, if you can see me? Let me know in the comment section. Well, I believe I can. Please give me a moment whilst I. Okay. All right. I believe I can be heard. So, yes, this is Peak Parent Academy. If you are new here, this is Peak Parent Academy. And what we do is that we help parents, we equip parents with the right skills and strategies to be able to raise wholesome children. That is what we do. And today is a free class. So you can share this link to other parents, to your relatives, so that they can also join. So, today we are talking about parenting beyond survival mode. How to raise builders, not victims. Parenting beyond survival mode. Please give me a moment so that I can put it here. Let me put the banner here so that we can just move on. So, yes, parenting. Yes, I'm almost done. Okay. So yes, it's here. Please give me a moment. Okay, so yes, we have it. We have it. Thank you so much for your patience. So this is what we are talking about today. Okay, parenting, I know is not easy. Many of us are, juggling work, traffic, bills, school fees, mobile phones, like screen addiction. A whole lot of things are going on in our parenting. A whole lot. And I understand you. Most of us, it's not like we are bad parents. We are not bad parents. We sometimes just feel tired. We sometimes feel overwhelmed. You don't know what to do. It doesn't mean that we are bad parents. We just find ourselves as being in a survival mode. And we need to, today, I'm going to teach you how we can actually move from the survival mode, okay, so that we can rather think of raising builders, so that we can move to a place where we are able to plan, we are able to parent with a lot of intentionality. And that is what is going to be the focus for today's class. So I welcome you. I welcome you. If you can hear me, please let me know. I know I can be heard. And you can still share this link to other parents so that they can also join. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button and let's go. So, that is what we are going to talk about today, parenting beyond survival mode, how we can raise builders and not victims. So let me explain what survival mode parenting is. Survival mode parenting, okay, is when most of us, parent in reaction. We react. We think that parenting is an emergency. We think that we don't really plan. What we are focused on is, like everything, we need to yell, we need to focus on fixing the child. That is what survival parenting is. That is what it looks like. So you need to be able to know that that kind of parenting doesn't really help us. We need to move from survival. Okay. And I know so many parents are asking, how do I even come out of this? How do I stop being yelling? How do I stop wanting to actually fix my child? Now, when you take the focus from fixing your child, wanting to fix your child, and then you bring it back to yourself, you tell yourself that you are going to really work on yourself so that you can help the child. That is when you move from that survival mode. So take note of that. Every day, feels like crisis in some homes. The mornings, parents are shouting here and there. My child can't find their socks, they can't find their bags, they don't know where, they didn't even wash their lunch bowls and all of that. And these things create chaos in the homes most of the time. And in the evenings too, no homework, Children are on TV, bedtime, they don't follow their bedtime. Some people, some kids actually sleep very late. And if your child is sleeping, if your child doesn't have a consistent time that they sleep, we need to be really, really careful about that. They need to have that. So all of these things is because these things happen because we don't plan. We don't plan. We yell. We are most of the time late. Our kids are late in school. They don't know what to do. They don't. Their life seems like they are in a mess. Okay, and it's because of the survival mode that we are in. That is what causes all of that. And another sign is that you are shouting, you are threatening, you are bribing as the main tool. So these are the tools you are using when you are parenting using the survival mode. Okay, so that is what you do. When a child misbehaves, your first reaction is shouting. You are threatening. Sometimes you even bribe them. If you don't stop, I will beat you. If you do this again, or if you are able to do your homework today, I will buy you this. Okay, that is you bribing the child. But it's not supposed to be like that. Those are just quick fixes that you are using. It doesn't help in parenting. It doesn't help you raise a wholesome child. So we need to take note of those quick fixes. I will beat you. A child does something. Let's say a child pours water on the floor, and all you are focused on is, I am going to beat this child. No. Why don't you use that opportunity to teach something? Okay, a child forgets to do their homework, and then you are shouting, you are here, and all of that. No, let them know what they have to do. So we are going to get to all those that part where we are going to give you practical steps that you can follow to help you move from that survival way of parenting. And we also have parenting out of exhaustion and no intention. You are tired, you feel tired. So sometimes because you are tired from work, there's a whole lot of things on you that you have to do. Sometimes you feel tired, you don't even want to get the kids to do what they have to do. Instead of you to monitor them because you are tired, you won't be able to even do it. There are lots of work on you that you have to complete and all of that. So sometimes it makes it difficult. Sometimes you even forget. And then you don't make sure the kids plan, they prepare for school and all of that. You just leave them. It is because there is no intentionality and you are also tired. So your 16-year-old, is on phone. Let's say you have a child who is 16 years, they are on phone, they sleep very late, and you know that attitude is going to affect their sleep. But because you are tired, you leave them. You tell yourself, oh, let me just leave it. Let me just leave it. She's not doing anything bad on the phone. After all, what? Let the child be. And then you ignore that, and it causes a whole lot of things. So we do that all because we sometimes feel tired, and we don't do it. We don't parent with a lot of intentionality. And the fourth thing is that we use fear-driven decisions. Fear-driven. Many of our decisions are driven by fear. If you delve deeper, you will know that many of how we are raising our children is because we are afraid. We are afraid of what people will say. We are afraid that our children are going to disgrace us. We are afraid that our children are going to fail in life. And that is why we parent this way. Now, let me start with the first one. If you are here and you are afraid of what people will say, what will people say? People will say that I'm raising my child anyhow. People will say that I'm being permissive. People will say this. If you listen to what people will say, you will never be able to do what you have to do as a parent. I always say that if you are raising your children, okay, with a goal, if you have a plan and you are actually raising your children using that plan, you never compare yourself. The Bible says that it is actually foolishness to compare. You don't have to compare your child with another. You don't have to say, I am A. What will someone say? Someone will say that I'm... No. Focus on your goal. Where do you want to see your child? That is where you need to focus. And the next thing is that you fear that your child is going to disgrace you. Sometimes, because we are afraid of that thing, we beat children, we shout at them because we are thinking of ourselves. My child will disgrace me and all of that. No, children will misbehave for so many reasons. If your child misbehaves in public, discipline needs to be done in private. You don't need to discipline your child, in a public where everyone will say that, hey, this parent is a strict parent, is a no-nonsense parent, and all of that. No, if you do that, the child loses confidence. So we need to know. I always tell the tribers that you need to have a journal, a small journal where you write in it whenever you go out and your child misbehaves. Instead of you, shaming the child and saying all sort of things, write down that behavior. When you get home, you have a meeting with a child and talk about the behavior. Let them know what this behavior can lead them to in life. It's not about you. Let your child's shame be their shame when they misbehave. When we are going out, and maybe when I'm out with my kids and they put up certain behaviors, I tell them, do you know that you're disgracing yourself? It is not me. I'm not going to carry your shame. I'm not going to carry your whatever. So let the child know that whatever thing that they are doing is their own shame. Don't carry that. Don't let that be your shame. Separate your child's misbehavior from you. And if you do that, you'll be able to raise them with a lot of intentionality. So please, let's take note of that. Okay. And another thing, the last thing that I'm going to mention is that we are afraid that our children are going to fail in life. When your child, for instance, takes, you have maybe some money down, and then your child takes the money. Immediately, what comes into your mind is, my child has taken my money without telling me. They're going to go to become armed robbers. They're going to do this. So you, at that second, that few seconds, there are so many thoughts running through your mind. You think of so many things at that moment. So because of that, because of where you are thinking, my child is going to go to steal, to become an armed robber. No. So it makes you react in ways that you're not supposed to. So this is the fourth reason why we parent using the survival mode. I hope we are getting it. I hope we are clear. If you are feeling it, please let me see your comments in the comment section. And don't forget, you can still share the link to other parents so that they can also join. So survival mode is understandable, but it is not a long-term strategy that we can use to raise future leaders. Survival mode is understandable. Sometimes you feel like, I need to tackle this. I understand. I perfectly understand. But it's not going to help us to raise our children to be able to become the leaders that we want to see. So let's look at how survival mode parenting shapes our children. When your home is on survival mode, your children start to learn certain patterns. So take note of this, that most of the things that we are doing, most of us, the things, how we react, the things we say and do and not everything, it's as a result of what and how we were raised. Most of us, if you could sit and reflect back, you will notice that this is how my dad used to say things. This is how my mom used to do things. This is how they were raising us. And it's exactly the same thing I am doing. I didn't want it, but I am doing the same thing. So when you are raising your child, any way that you are doing it, whether you are intentional or not, you are creating a pattern. So ask yourself, what pattern am I creating in my family? Okay, your children become anxious. They become, they know that you are unpredictable. Hey, mommy can do anything at any time. Daddy can, react at any time. So your children don't even know. They don't know what you can do in the next minute. So they become afraid, they become anxious, they become worried. And the third thing is that they become pretenders. Yes, most of us, this are hypocrites because of how we were raised. We were raised to, perform. So we are always performing. We don't do things because we know that, okay, this thing that I have to do is not right, so I'm not doing it. You do it because you think people are around you. And it's the same thing your children are doing. Mommy is here, daddy is here, so I have to just do the right thing. When they are not around, I can do whatever I want. We don't take our time to explain to the kids why they need to put up good behaviors, or why they need to, live with their values, with their family values. So they do anything. They become, pretenders. I believe that is not the kind of leaders we want to raise. And they become passive or rebellious. They either freeze, or they will wait to be told to do something before they act. So if your child is putting up, is behaving in these ways, if your child is anxious, if your child pretends a lot, if they wait all the time, they don't do anything, they become, they sometimes freeze, quiet, don't know anything, or they are waiting for you to tell them what to do. Know that maybe how you are raising them is not the right way. You have to do it. So we need to check all of these things. So let's take note of that. Now let's move to the victim versus the builders. The mindset shift. So let's talk about what we are actually doing when we are raising kids using this survival mode. Our children become victim. They have the victim mindset. They grow to have that victim mindset. When a child with a victim mindset has certain beliefs, and they believe that nothing is really my fault, there is nothing I can do, everyone is against me, and all of that. That is what, and if you compare most adults feel this way. They feel that it is not, how their lives have turned out is not their fault. They like to blame other people. It's because of how we were raised. They think that there is nothing they can do. This situation that I find myself in, there is nothing I can do about it. When you are raising your child using the survival mode, this is what really happens. Okay. And they feel that everyone is against them because of how you've raised them. That is what they think. Everything, shouting, everything yelling. You can never change. You are this, you are that. You are forming their beliefs. So we need to take note of this. And some of the behaviors that they put up is they are constantly blaming other people. They are giving excuses all of the time. They are waiting for people to come and rescue them. That is what they do. So we need to take note. So giving an example, when you have, let's say your child is 7 years old and your child fails a test, okay? And instead of the child to go like, Mom, I failed this test because I didn't learn. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. They tend to blame the teacher. The teacher doesn't like me. That is why I failed in this subject. They take the blame from themselves and then blame other people for their mistakes that they have made. So that is what this thing actually does. We need to be careful. So how can we build this mindset? How can we change from this victim mindset to the builder's mindset? We need to know that the builders, children who we focus on building their mindset, they actually think differently. They know that in everything they have a part to play. They don't blame other people. They know that I failed in this test because I didn't learn. And next time I'm going to set up and read my notes. They know that they can learn, they can ask for help, they can try again. Some children can't even ask for help because when they do, it's all because of how they've been raised in the home. So even if they face a challenge, they're unable to ask for help. That is very bad. And some of the behaviors for kids with this builders, mindset, they take responsibility. They look for options whenever they face any challenge, whenever they do something and they face any difficulty at all. They go around looking for, what other option, what other thing can I do to be able to solve this problem? They look for options. They try again. They try again. Whenever they fail, they try again. They have this mindset, the growth mindset that helps them. So let's take note of this. Very, very important. So I want you to do this vision exercise, okay? Sit down. You can do it now or you can do it later. Write it somewhere and then do it later. I want you to actually picture, okay, one of your children. If you have one child, of course, use that one child. If you have more than, one, pick one child And then I want you to close your eyes, okay, and picture when your child turns 25. Pause and say these things to yourself. Pause. Just imagine your child at age 25 years old. Okay. And ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to see? What kind of person do I want to see? Or do you see someone who always blame the government? Do you see someone who always is blaming other people for what they are going through? Is that what you see? Always blaming teachers, always blaming the economy, always blaming this. Is that what you see when you look at, your 25-year-old child? Or do you see someone who looks at problems, okay, and themselves, what can I do about this? So between these two, who do you want to see? So ask yourself who you see and then decide who. If who you are seeing is not what or who you want to see, then decide from today that maybe there is something wrong with how you are raising these kids, and you need to really do something about it. It's very, very important. That, vision exercise will help you think about so many things. It will help you to do things like that. Is one of the exercises that I do them every single day. Okay. All right. I feel the connection. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for your comments, Apostle Amos TV. All right. So you know what we are saying. So you need to take note of that. Envision. Sit down and look at it. What or who do you want to see? If who you are seeing is not good, is not the type of person you want to see, then please sit back and know that it is not an emergency. It is not an emergency. Take your time and, take note of what you have to do to help this child. Very, very important. So the way we handle when a child, when a child spills milk on the floor, when a child doesn't finish their homework, when they spend too much time on the screen, when they're fighting, when they're lying and all of that, what we do when your child, makes these mistakes, how we handle those mistakes will determine the kind of person we are going to see when they grow. So how are you helping your child through their mistakes? When they do their mistakes, of course, we all make mistakes. Sometimes as adults, we pretend. We pretend as if we are okay, we are perfect and all of that. No, let your children know you are a human being. You also make mistakes. So we need to be able to let them know that mistakes are part of life, and these are the things you have to do so that you don't make mistakes. Whenever mistakes happen, we learn from it to become better. So this is what we have to do. Now let's look at the pillars, okay, of raising builders. Pillars of raising builders. The first pillar is responsibility and ownership. Responsibility and ownership. And the idea here is that, you are building, you are helping your child know that choices have consequences, and all of that. Whatever thing you do, you are definitely going to have a consequence for that. So let our children know the decisions you make. So you can give age appropriate responsibilities, like from when your child is a toddler, you can put maybe after they are done playing with their toys, let them be able to arrange them back. Don't do it for them. Please let them arrange them yourself. You can do it together with them if they don't know how to go about it. Of course, toddlers, some of them, may be new. If they are maybe 2 years or 3 years, you need to do it together with them for some time, and then at times to let them do it all by themselves. You are teaching responsibility. So when your child finishes playing with the toys, them do it themselves. Very important. Let them carry their own plates to the sink. Yes, they can. After eating, let them carry the plate, take them to the sink. Sometimes you can even let them try washing themselves. That is you teaching responsibility. Okay, help them to pack small things. So for my toddler, when she comes back from school, we check her bag. She takes out her water bottle and her bowl, everything from her bag. She does her homework herself. When she has her homework, immediately she comes home, she undresses and all of that. She has a routine that she follows. So she knows, she goes through the process. So it's very important. Don't think your child is young. The mistake that we make as parents is that we think that our children are young, so we have to wait for them to grow before we begin to teach them essential life. Then teach gradually. You need to do that if you want to build responsibility in your child. And then from age 6 to 12, what they can do, they can start sweeping. Okay, of course, my toddler, she has a small broom that sometimes she uses to sweep. So you can find out all those skills, break them down, okay, into their level. You can just let them be doing it once in a while. You can have maybe every week we are trying one skill like sweeping, how they can clean the table, how they can fold their clothes. If your child is 6 to 12, let them do these things by themselves. If you have built the foundation, they should be able to sweep the room, the compound. They should be able to, clean the table, the dining table after eating. They should be able to fold their clothes. Don't, after laundry, don't go and sit down and be folding everyone's clothes. Or don't get the house help to do that for them. Let them take responsibility for nothing at all. The things that belong to them, let them do it for themselves. Don't let someone do it, or don't do it, by yourself. Okay, this is very, very, very important. Very, very important. Let's take note of that. And then let them take care of a pet or maybe a plant. They water the plant. They have a pet. Some days back, my 8-year-old animal, was it? I've forgotten. He brought that animal home and he was like, Mom, I want to do an experiment. I want to see how they're going to grow from this stage to this stage. And I was like, wow. So I asked him some questions, and at the end of the day, he wanted to know how that animal was going to grow from stage A to stage B. And I asked him where he took him from and all of that. We did all of that. I asked him the necessary questions that I needed to ask him. And sometimes we plant, we intentionally let them water plants. They are going through the process. They see they grow from this stage to another stage and all of that. So they take care of those things. So let your children do that, okay? And if you have 13 to 18 years old, let them cook. And in fact, your preteens can even start cooking. They can start cooking simple meals like breakfast. We have oats. They can do porridge and all of that. So let them start cooking very simple meals for themselves. And by age 13 to 18, if you've been able to do it from that stage, they will be able to cook themselves. Let them help their younger siblings. Let them be able to, manage their finances. Teach them how they can manage their finances. You don't take money and then go and spend everything. No, teach them how to take responsibility for, their finances. Or if you have a family project, give them a part, a responsibility to play in that family project. Don't just leave them. Don't just be doing everything for them. Please, if your child is grown, if you have a teenager, give them responsibility. Give them responsibility. Don't just be fighting with them. At that stage, that is mostly what we do. Do not be fighting with them. Okay. And those are the age appropriate responsibilities. The second one is that we need to stop over rescue. Stop rescuing your children. Let them face consequences. So for your toddler, okay, let them, whatever, sometimes when they want to climb something, of course you need to be there to guide them. When they want to climb, watch. Sometimes you need to just hold yourself and let them climb. You are building resilience. When they do that, you are building resilience, okay? But of course, you need to do it with care so that they don't also hurt themselves. So let's take note of that. Stop over rescuing your children. The next thing is that ask ownership questions. So for example, you can ask them questions like, what was your part in what happened? Maybe assuming something happened, some of the important questions you can ask them, what was your part okay, in what happened, and then what could you have done differently? What could you have done differently? So this is the asking ownership questions. The next thing is you could also ask them, what would you do next time to make sure that what happened doesn't happen again? These questions shift their mindset from always blaming other people to thinking all of the time. When you're able to ask them these questions, okay, that is what it does for them. So a builder child hears this message at home. You are when your child is hearing these things, these questions, you are actually building responsibility. You are not making them feel like they are helpless in their situations. No, they can actually do things irrespective of what challenge that comes their way. They can think and do what they have to do as kids. The second pillar is problem solving and thinking skills. Problem solving and thinking skills. The first thing, okay, you need to stop giving instant answers. When you ask your children, or when your children come and ask you questions, give them back those questions. Give them back those questions. Ask them, let me hear from you first. What would you have done in this situation? Okay, so some of the questions you can ask here is that, what's the real problem here? Let them know what the problem. Ask them, what's the real problem here? What are some options? What are some of the options you can explore? Ask them, and ask them also that what might happen if you choose, if you choose this option, what do you think can happen? If you are choosing this, what do you think can also happen? Okay, so we need to take note of that. Stop giving instant answers to your children. Whenever they ask you questions, ensure that you are asking them back to know what they think. The second point is that use everyday situations as training. Use everyday situations as training. So let them choose. Sometimes when your toddler, let them actually choose their own attires. When you have, maybe you can sort out some colors after bathing. If they have to choose, you can take like 3 different clothes for them to choose one. Okay, so you are helping them with decision making skills. That is what you are doing. So help them with use everyday, training. Don't just, this is what you are going to wear, whether you like it or not. Of course, there are sometimes you can just decide what they have to wear, but ensure that you are letting them choose. Most of the times, give them options, let them choose from. That is how you build decision making skills. The third one is that, make what would you do? What would you do? A family habit. What would you do? This is something that we do mostly, or like most of the times. I'll ask you when they come and ask me, mommy, I want to do this, or there's a problem. What would you do? What do you have to do? So, what do you have to do? They will think, I'll always tell you, you don't bring a problem to me and then I immediately solve it for you. No, I will ask you, what would you do? What can you do? What are you supposed to do? These questions, so they know immediately they come. Mommy will say, what would you do? So they think about it and then do what they have to do. Don't just be giving answers, okay? Don't just be giving answers. And then the next pillar, that is the pillar number 3, is resilience and emotional strength. Normalize struggle and failure. Normalize struggle and failure. Whenever your child struggles, it is okay. Let them go through their struggles. They're not going to die. Nothing is going to happen to them. When they fail, encourage them. Oh, you failed today. You're going to do better tomorrow. So take note of that. When your child fails, it is never the end of the world. Failure is actually good. People lied to us that when you fail, all of that. No, failure is actually good. It helps you know what you have to do next time. So when your child fails, don't condemn your child. The second thing is that teach them to name their emotions. Use the emotional, vocabulary. There are so many words you can teach, not just the happy, sad thing that we know. Just go online and search the emotional wheel. You will see such, download and print out, paste it in your room, and let your children, learn. You learn together. The emotional vocabularies is going to help you a lot. The next thing is that you need to model resilience yourself as the parent. Yes, The child is looking at you. What you are doing is not what you're saying. It's not just what you're saying. What you are doing, the child is also watching. They are learning from you. So please model resilience. Very, very important. Now, the fourth thing is that work ethic and skill. Involve them in real work. Involve them when your children vacate. I say most of the times when you have a teenager, okay, and they vacate, ensure that you let them go and serve. It could be your friend, someone you trust. Get them to go there and serve. They are building experiences, so introduce that to them and let them also see how money is earned. Let them see it. So in the home, you can have, of course, they have their normal responsibilities that they do. And you can also make a list of things or things they can do to earn an extra income. So you can say that maybe cleaning of the fridge or weeding, cutting the flowers, or doing something extra will make you earn something. So teach them how to earn money, giving them responsibilities. You don't give them allowance for what they have to do. Like, you don't give them money for their responsibilities, but if they go extra, when they do their responsibilities and ensure that other things are also done, so you can put those things, write them down and talk about it with your kids so that they will know that, okay, if I do this, I'm going to earn more money. So I'll try and do. That is what we do. Sometimes my kids, they will just go to my bookshelf and bring everything out and clean the books nicely. They will clean the shelf, everything nicely, because they have to earn something. It's something that they will do to earn an extra income. So that those are some of the things you can also introduce in your home. There is nothing like free money. No, you will not get free money. You should earn it. The third thing is that you need to encourage building projects. So you design simple, maybe labels for containers. You create your something that will encourage them. Like, let's do a reading corner today. We are doing a reading corner, or we are building a bookshelf. We are building a place where we can do this. We are building a place where let's arrange this area for it to be an area where we can do our homework. If you don't have a study area, you can do that in your home. There are so many things you can do here. You can maybe say this is where we will meet and then do our project, our family project, and all of that. We need to take note of that. And then the fifth pillar: contribution and compassion. Contribution and compassion. We need to train them to notice needs. Train them to notice needs. Okay. So at times you can put together your old clothes or something to give to other people who are also in need of them. If there is if there's something you are not using any longer, you may find out people who will need them, and then you put them together nicely and then give them out to those people. Celebrate acts of kindness, not only grades. Be kind to your children so that they will also learn how to be kind to you and other people. Build family traditions. Family traditions. Okay. So you can have a day where in the family, maybe once in the week you go out, or once in a month you have a one-on-one with your parents and all of that. Those are family traditions that will help put you together and build your family. And you can also so that is that with the family tradition. And you need to build a culture and a home where you will all come together to see yourselves as one. There are some families where it's all about criticisms. It's all about, talking each other down. Come together, know that you are one. We are one family on a mission. We are one family with a vision. So this is what we intend to achieve. Come together, build language, okay? Have a language that builds all of you, not break you down. Don't focus on things that are going to break you down. Teach your kids that whenever your sibling does something that you don't like, this is how you handle it. This is how you go about it. You don't shout, you don't yell at them. No, It doesn't mean they are not going to yell. It doesn't mean they are not going to fight. There are times those things are going to happen. So when they happen, guide them on how they can come out, or they can easily solve that particular problem. Very, very necessary. Okay. Have routines too for them. Create routines. Let them know their morning routines, evening routines, whatever thing that they have to do. List them out, paste them there. Whenever they have to do something, get them, go and check what you have to do, and then get them to do it. Plan whatever thing that they have to do. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. So the things that you will need most of the times in the mornings are when we are fighting with our kids. In most homes, there are yelling and all of that. Please plan before the next day. Plan ahead. And sometimes too, when you are coming back from work, when your children come before you get home, before you get home, expect, okay, by now my children have scattered the place. By now they have done this. Like, so when I go and the place is scattered, how am I going to act? I'll take a deep breath, and then I'll guide them through what they have to do. So when you get inside and you see that the place is all scattered, you don't yell. You are not everywhere, because you've already programmed your mind on how you are going to handle that particular thing. This is something that you can do to help you, stop the yelling. Let's stop overprotecting our children. Let's stop rescuing them. Like, your child forgets to do their homework, and you quickly pick up things, the homework book, and then you set off to their school. You go and give it to them. No, let them face that consequence. You left your homework home. You're going to face the consequence at school. When you come home, I'll talk to you. Next time, you will not. Once you are able to, you face the consequence, they will not put up that behavior anymore. So let's not always rescue our children. Let's not. I know you are a parent, you love your child and all of that, but please, do you know that you can love your child and you totally destroy that child? So loving the child doesn't mean you coming to rescue them. If you really love them, you will watch them go through their consequences, because that is how they will learn from whatever thing that they go through. I hope today's session has been insightful. Thank you so much for coming, for joining. And as I said, the vision, the vision assignment that I gave you, please sit back and just envision, just look at the future. Who do you want to see? Parenting is an everyday process. It's you doing it with intentionality. There are days you are going to sometimes mess up. It's okay when things, do not go the way you expect them to be. Just tell yourself that it's okay. You are going to try again. You don't build mastery in just one day. It's a process. You go through the process, you make mistakes, you learn, you pick up yourself, you go again. That is how gradually you can build that mastery. That is how you can build a home. You can build a family that will grow, and you will see, you will sit back one day, look at your kids, and you will be so proud of yourself that you didn't give up. So these things that we are saying, I know it's not easy, but if you do it with intentionality, if you tell yourself that, I am going to raise this child to become the leader for this nation, to become the leader, to lead Africa into a greater place, you will do it. Trust me. It's all about you being intentional. It's all about you learning. It's all about you healing. It's all about you, learning the skills that you have to learn to be able to help the child. Thank you so much for being here. I hope today's session has been, of course, valuable. You have learned something. So see you again next week. We are going to handle a very interesting topic. And if you haven't registered for the Parents Conference, it's coming off in 8 days. On the 20th of November, that is when we are starting. We are going to have speakers speak about topics that will change your parenting. Trust me, don't take it for granted. It is for free, but the value you are going to get, I don't know what to say. So there will be no replays. You're not going to share any replay. If you are not on the group, you will not be able to watch, get a replay. So please join, register, and join the group so that you'll be able to learn more from 15 speakers. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Thank you so much and enjoy an amazing, amazing day.